Hello, and welcome to Conversations with Linda. I'm Linda. You know, I love a good conversation, so let's have one.
Dani McGhee-Barlow was born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. Her mission and purpose is to reach and save the lost so that they may experience God's favor. Dani, best known as D. McGhee, is a fresh, live, energetic, contemporary artist, a breath of fresh air in the gospel entertainment sector. Dani McGhee-Barlow began singing gospel music at the age of 5. Dani McGhee has sung background with many local as well as national recording artists such as Karen Clark Sheard, Vanessa Bell Armstrong, Yolanda Adams, Kirk Franklin, James Moore, Jennifer Holliday, Ted Wynn, Sherry Jones Moffett, Miranda Curtis, Kurt Carr, and many more. In 2011, Dani McGhee-Barlow had the opportunity to open for two great national artists, Molly Music and Ty Tribbett. Dani McGhee-Barlow is now the founder of Safe Place. It was released in 2019. She also has her very own clothing line, Yet Still Here. Dani McGhee-Barlow is the proud mother of 3 boys, Peyton Barlow, Quincy Barlow, and Quentin Barlow Jr. She is the widow of Pastor Quentin Barlow Sr., the founding pastor of Faith Covenant Church. Not conforming to the norms of a traditional artist, Dani McGhee-Barlow brings her own unique style, yet remaining dedicated to the calling on her life to spread the love of Christ.
Conversations with Linda, welcome to our studio, Dani McGhee-Barlow. Welcome, Dani.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, I have been wanting to have a conversation with you for a while now.
Wow.
And so I'm just glad that we are having this opportunity today. Dani, many of our viewers are not local,
Okay.
so they may not know your story. So let's start with just you sharing with how long were you married,
Okay.
and how old was your husband, who was your husband, and all that.
Okay. So we was married 3 years.
Okay.
We got married in 2014.
Uh-huh.
And then this one he passed away in 2017. Quentin Terrell Barlow Sr.
Mm-hmm. And he was a pastor.
He was a pastor here at Faith Covenant
Mhm.
Church of Willow Road. He
Mhm.
was a founder pastor. He started the church.
Wow.
Before then, he was like 11 years, and he was preaching 25 years before he passed
Oh,
away.
wow. And he was young.
He was
Having
young.
preached
He was
25 years. Lord
33.
have mercy.
Mhm.
So unfortunately, as you said, in 2017,
Mhm.
life changed for you. You got the news that your husband had passed. Is that how it all happened? I kind of remember that day.
Okay, well,
Ti-
I didn't get. I was the one that
You were the one that
I
found
was the one
him.
that found
That
him.
I thought that
Mhm.
was right. Okay.
So it was actually the day before was November 21st, and Peyton, our oldest son, stays in Dallas with his mom. So he came down the day before, the 21st. The 22nd was his birthday. So I just had the baby.
Mhm.
Junior was only 3 weeks at the time.
3 weeks.
He was 3 weeks at the time, and then woke up the next morning. It was something weird. It's like they say about when people kind of know or something, feel something, but it was just different that night because Quentin, he's a outspoken person. He loved to talk. He loved family, but it was like this night, me and Payne looking like, why are you talking so much? And I was still having cravings. So I wanted a sneaker with a Coke, and Peyton wanted another fountain drink he wanted. So Quinn left to go get it that night. And the next morning, it was at midnight when I was just rocking Junior to sleep. And I was like, I'm gonna go home, go to the bed. And he was like, okay, I'll see you later. I'm like, cool. At the time, Peyton fell asleep on the couch. I went upstairs to our guest room because Quincy and Quentin stayed in our bedroom.
Okay.
I'm the mom's like, don't let them sleep in bed with you. Until I'm safe to know. But none of my kids slept on their bed.
I got you.
They were stomach babies. So I was like, I don't want to lay them on the stomach. And then,
So
they were
had to put them in
not.
the
I
bed.
had to do what was comfortable for me and for them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So at that time, so I woke up the next morning. And it's crazy because Junior always woke up every 2 hours. But this night, we went to bed at midnight. He didn't wake up until 5 a.m.
Wow.
So he slept 5. And I was like, when I woke up, I was like, whoo, you slept for 5. You gave Mama a break. So I always do my random check. I always go into the room and see if Quincy is good. But I noticed Quincy was in the bed, but Quincy wasn't in the bed.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, maybe he had a funeral home too in Covington.
Yeah.
So maybe he had to go pick up a body, didn't want to disturb me.
Right.
So when I went out to go start fixing the baby bottles, I noticed the body truck was still outside. The funeral truck was still outside.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I looked in our garage. Our truck was in the garage. So I looked at Payne. I said, Payne, it's like your daddy, did he leave? He's like, Mom, I didn't hear anything. No, he should be. I was like, he's not upstairs. So I was like, well, let me fix the baby bottle, get up and go upstairs while I can fix your brother's bottle. So I was gonna let the garage up. I'm very scared. So I let the garage up because I didn't let the garage up at the time. Let me go back. I didn't let the garage up. I went around. When I went around, is where I found Tamid. Right there.
Wow. Just so somewhere in the night is when he collapsed.
So it had to be, I'm not sure exactly how long it was, but I think when they did it, he probably had to be around 2 or 3.
Wow.
Because he texted a couple of friends. And it's funny because he was sending out scriptures and, hey, y'all look at this. And yes, and then we looked at it, it was like 2 something when he was sending it, when he sent out. Quinn always have his days in the garage where he might have his little phone going and he have his little seat and stuff in there. So it wasn't weird for me to know that he was in the garage because we have a little door thing there too. So it had to happen around about 3 or 4.
Oh my. And so here you are, a new baby, and life is normal, and you find your 30s.
He was 33.
33-year-old husband in the garage, dead.
Yeah, he was 36. I'm sorry, I was 33.
You were 33. He was 36.
36.
I mean, I can only imagine, the devastation. I remember that day because we came over to the house, because every pastor was calling every pastor, and because nobody could believe it.
Yes,
right, because he was well loved and young. So that's just not news that you think you're gonna get. And I remember that coming there, and cars were everywhere, and people were, and all I could think is, what in the world is she? How is she? Because before I got to you, everybody was speaking to everybody. So there were layers of people that you had to go through to even get in the house. And so my thought that day was just, oh my God, how is she even managing, just in this moment, not even thinking about the future, just in this moment. How did you manage the moment?
To be honest, I was out. Like I forgot that I had my baby. Yeah. Even Quincy was just 2, and it was Peyton's birthday. He was 15. So it's like all of that. My body was. I didn't have nothing to think. Even I can't even remember. I remember just a lot of people. Yeah. So it was so many people at the house where I was overwhelmed because and then how some people. It was just, I don't know. It was so cloudy. I was just in a big cloud. Yeah. I was there, but I wasn't there.
Almost like an out of body experience.
Just an out of body experience. Even I do remember Trey Stevens. He had Joseph Walker on the phone. Okay. I can't tell you nothing what he told me. All he told me was this is Bishop on the phone, and that was it. Yeah. Like everything was just blunt to me. I was most worried about my kids. Sure. Because especially for my oldest. Absolutely. My little ones didn't understand, but it was more so my oldest because this is his birthday. Yeah. And I was just, like I said, I was there, but wasn't there. Like I was hearing people, but wasn't hearing people. So I was kind of out of it. And he's, Quinn was the only child. He was the only child.
And so his mom, my heart was just grieving for
yes,
her.
it was hurtful for me because they treated it as a crime scene.
Okay.
So she wasn't even able to come in. It was only me and I said, let me tell you how God worked. So how it was, my our next door neighbor, 2 doors from us, he was a police officer. He got the call.
Okay.
He was like, I know this Barlow house. Let me go down here and see. He wasn't even on duty too. He was just getting off work.
Uh-huh.
So he came down and he was like, this police open, let the garage up. So that's when I let the garage up. And he's like, go in the house. I'm like, I don't think nobody did anything. He was like, just go in the house. So so when he was like, well, we got to treat it as crime. I said, can you please let me get my kids out the house? I do not want them here.
Sure.
So he was like, yeah, I got 5 minutes. It was like trying to get bottles together and thankful that my auntie's, her daycare was closed because it was Thanksgiving week. So they took the kids to the daycare. And that's when my auntie, Auntie Janice, you know, Auntie Janice, she didn't even see him. So I was like, it wasn't number guy. She ran straight up. They thought it was the baby. They didn't think it was the senior. They thought it was the baby.
Gotcha.
So her thing was, let me get straight to the house. So when she came to straight in the house, she's like, where the baby? And I was like, it wasn't the baby. Lord, and that's when the police wouldn't even let her get to him because he was like, we can't, nobody can. I was like, well, can I at least let my kids out the house? So they let the kids out, and then it was just me and her in the house. I said, God knew what he was doing, because if I was in the house by myself,
oh my goodness,
oh my God, it wouldn't. But I was having my outbreaks and stuff like that. But it was mad. I was upset because they wouldn't let me out the house. I just needed some air. It was like, you can't go in, can't go out. I was trying to break out the house. They was like, you got to, and I'm like, I need to get out. But it was so many people. It was people that couldn't even go to work that day because they had to block off. It was
I remember. I know. I remember.
Yes, I think y'all was down on the. I do just remember you. I know you and Bishop. Y'all was down on this. I remember because when I did my break, I saw a couple of people that was in and out. I just wanted them to let the garage down because I didn't want nobody to see him like that. And it was. I think that was more devastating because his mom. I could look at it like it was yesterday. She was across the street and just was standing there.
Lord have mercy.
You know, couldn't do
and
nothing.
I've been knowing her for years.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, my heart was just all over the place for you, for her, and just the kids, everybody. So when you finally did get some alone time, like when people started leaving and, you know, police officers are gone, and how did you manage that space?
Well, people didn't leave.
Okay.
My sister flew in from Chicago. She was here like this. I had, you know, Daryl Pettis. I was so many of my closest was there.
Yeah.
So it was still people coming into the house trying to visit. My sister was like, okay, y'all, we got to leave because she's not gonna be able to stay here because people are gonna. And I know people want to make sure I'm good. And
did you stay there that night?
No, I didn't stay there that night.
Okay.
So I had to pack my bags. My sister made and I stayed with mom. His mom that night, and I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep at all.
So just, you know, and if any of this is too painful, you don't have to go through it. But when all of that was over and you're in the bed, what are you thinking?
It's tears.
Okay.
I didn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. Like I'm here, like I said, I was here rocking my baby.
Yeah.
I remember on the phone talking to one of my best friend, Cachet.
Okay.
And I said, sis, I don't know what to do. I don't know. And I was literally on the phone with her until I got there, until the next morning.
Wow.
I didn't sleep. And
thank God for friends.
Thank God for friends, you know, and
goodness.
Mom was to the point, mom was just quiet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know she needed her space and I needed my space. We was there for each other.
Yeah.
But in the, you know, not in the same space, but we was there for each other. And I just,
because both of you are processing.
We processing. That was her only child, and they was closer than
I remember when I came to Memphis, which was 32 years ago. I remember that little boy and his mom. The boy preacher. Yes, ma'am. I remember. So it was, always kept him sharp. She was sharp. You know, all of that. I remember,
baby.
But I just, you know, I asked that question because for so many, when there is a traumatic situation like that, you're in this place of shock where you can't even. It doesn't even feel real that it's happening. Yeah.
I was, like I said, I don't even know the thoughts. Like I was just there. I was just there. I was just like, I didn't think about what was going to happen next. I didn't think, I was just in that moment.
Gotcha.
Of me trying to, and then trying to get the picture out of my head.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That was another thing, the picture I had
of
seeing him.
Are you better now with that?
I am
or is it
much better
still-
now.
Okay.
I'm much better now with it now.
Did you? And I know I'm moving you. We're
that's
gonna go
fine.
back and
No,
forward.
no.
But I know you're telling your story, not just because it's your story, but this is also to minister to others, help others, you know, because it happens. So how did you help? What helped with getting that image out of your head, or how did you cope with it?
Counseling.
Okay, good.
Counseling.
It took me.
Yes, it took me a year to go.
Okay.
But I had to go.
Okay.
And my doctor recommended me to go because I was, like I said, I just had a baby.
Yeah.
So I was dealing with the postpartum stuff
and
with the 2-year-old.
Oh, girl, you had your hands full.
I had my hands full.
With your own grief.
With my own grief, you know. So I had to go because it was nights where my sister, so when I did decide to go back to the house, I had to have 24 hours of care. I couldn't be by myself. And it's not that I had suicidal thoughts. They just didn't know, because I wasn't acting, I wasn't saying nothing.
You were just numb.
I was just numb. Anything. I was to the numb to the point I didn't even hear my own baby cry.
Oh, wow.
My sister had to come in there and be like, Dan, do you hear Junior crying? I'm like, oh no. And she'll just get them. Like, it wasn't.
Sometimes we detach or disconnect just to preserve ourselves. We don't even realize we're doing it. You know, I can say that as a mental health therapist, that people, they just detach, disengage because it's life perseverance. Because what you're scared of is if you allow yourself to feel, everything will come just you know, pouring in on you, and you won't be able to handle it. So people just disconnect or they numb out, you know. So that's not unusual.
Okay.
So in those times, you know, now let's move forward as you are now coping. The funeral was beautiful and all of that.
3 days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, he was so loved. He was a pastor. People knew him from, you know, kid. You know, he had this big family. You're well known and all of those things. So, yeah, you know.
And it was, you know what, it was crazy because before being in the funeral home, working in the funeral home, he always say, don't do this to me. I don't want this.
Really?
So we can, he's like, this is where I want to be, Memorial Park. This is where I want to be right here. Every time we have to go to a funeral, we drop us. I want to, this is where I want to be. And like, okay, right. So I'm grateful that he did, you know, and then he wanted just like his dad, because we did his daddy the same way, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Okay.
His dad died 3 years before he did.
Okay.
So it was just like
so you knew what to do.
I knew what to do. Exactly. And this same thing with his mom. It was,
you know what? I mean, and this may sound morbid to somebody that's listening, but I think that's important. Because when you've lost someone and you don't know what their wishes are, I mean, now you're dealing with grief and you're dealing with the overwhelming responsibility of trying to make it be whatever you think they would have wanted. So yeah, when you can talk about it, y'all talk about it with your folks.
Yes, please.
And tell what you want, you know.
And that's important. That's why it was so easy for us. It was hard, but it was easy for us.
Because he had talked about it.
Because he already talked about it. And, you know, his mom, we didn't know conflicts at all.
That's so good. Do you think, because I heard you say initially, you know, how it was the night before and all that. Do you, somewhere in your mind, thinking back on conversations, do you think that maybe he thought, not just because he talked about it, you know, he's in the funeral business,
right? But
do you think that he thought he would not live a very long time?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Quentin, like I said, Quentin was always a go-getter. He was always, he's not scared of anything. The way I think just being in the funeral home, made him talk about it. Like, oh Lord, he was saying, why are you? It just was so he loved what he did. He loved preaching, and it was crazy because he ended up, him and his father, just back and being the business together. Just like he didn't know that his dad was going to pass away, like he did. Quentin just got in. He was already in the family business, but just really like in depth working in there. Yeah. It was just how everything was just 3 years when you know him just in the debt of working with. And just like with his dad, when Quincy was born, we named Quincy after his dad. Okay. When Quincy was born, I think Quincy had to be like 3 months before when Dad passed away. Quincy was born in April. Dad passed away in July. The Sunday before Dad passed away, we went to his dad's church, and he was like, bring me Quincy up here. He was so proud, and we named him after him. He held him in his arms in front of his, she had a church. We went to his church anniversary. He held him in his arms. He said, when I leave, y'all gonna have it's gonna be another Quincy here.
Oh wow.
Just like that. And Dad passed away the next week.
Oh wow. Oh, that gives me goosebumps.
You know, so it's just like you never date. I don't know if they feel it. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
So let's move forward. And I gotta go to commercial break.
Okay.
But I'm gonna ask you this question quickly. Were you ever angry with God that your husband was taken from you, or at such a young, not just at a young age, but such a young stage in the marriage and with these little children?
I was very angry with God. Like I can't even like describe. You know how you can with your child like either do something so bad, you're like, why did you do it? It just makes you so upset. And I was very angry with God.
Wow.
I'm talking about to the point where I just like, you know what, God, forget it. I don't want to ask you for nothing else. Wow. Because I pray for this. I pray for my husband. I pray to have a family.
Yeah.
And when I prayed for it, you gave it to me, and then you took it from me. Okay. So it's just like I was in a very point where I was just like, I ain't asking you for nothing else. Like this is like whatever. Don't read me no scriptures. I've been in church all my life. Wow. You know what I'm saying? I know what the Bible says. But yes, I was very upset with God.
Well, we're gonna stop right here.
Okay.
Take a commercial break, because when we get back, I want to talk about how you reconciled with God.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you're still on this battlefield, so obviously there was a reconciliation somewhere. You and God got back on speaking terms. I love him. All right, we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with Dani McGhee-Barlow and this fascinating conversation that we're having. Welcome back to Conversations with Linda. I am having a conversation that is intimate, and I believe will be healing for you and for Dani McGhee-Barlow, who is here with us today, sharing of a very difficult time in her life and her journey with God. Dani, when we left the last segment, you were talking about you were angry with God. I mean, really angry with God.
Yes.
And I always say, I got to tell you, I said, you know, God can handle our anger.
Yeah.
I am not one of those people that say, oh, God's going to strike you down if you're angry with him. No, God gave us these emotions. And so even when they're towards him, he loves us enough. And he's big enough to handle our emotions.
He created us. He knew it was going to be mad at him before.
Right. So what did you do? How did you manage that anger?
Oh, I had to go to counseling.
Okay.
Counseling was one of the things that really, 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 really helped me.
Now, what did counseling help you come to terms with?
To accept that he was how he left.
Okay.
And so she told me to close my eyes. This is in the segment, and I will never. From that point on, I will stop. And I was like, okay, I get it now. She told me to close my eyes, breathe in and out. She was like, now I want you to picture. She took me back. She's like, picture him in the garage, and he's standing there with you. So it's him, me, and God. So God is telling us, we having this conversation with God. She's like, just breathe, just breathe. She's like, now go take you back to the day. And you're standing there. God is holding Quinn's hand, and you're holding your hand out. She was like, which hand you think Quinn would grab?
Oh, wow. Wow.
And why would you think he'll pick who he picked? And I said, he'll pick God's hand.
Okay.
And he knows that God is going to take care of me and my kids, that we don't have nothing to worry about. His time, God is calling him on, his time is up. So he's going to be with God, going to work more for God now. So that would really, she's like, open your eyes. And it just really, I fell to the ground. And I really, 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 really repent to God of apologizing to him the way I felt. Yeah. Because who am I? If God called me home and give me a choice.
Sure.
Oh, this world here.
Right.
You know? So I I had to not think of myself and my kids.
Yeah.
You know, so I have to realize, yeah, God gave me him,
Mm-hmm.
but that's his child.
That's right.
So who am I to, you know what I'm saying, to
Yeah.
compete? I can't compete with God. You know what I'm saying? So
that is so profound
mm-hmm.
that you couldn't compete with God. You couldn't compete with God. And I think this is where a lot of people are challenged when we lose loved ones, is that we're thinking of ourselves. We're thinking of the void that it leaves in our lives. We're thinking of, you know, how we're cheated out of whatever our expectations were. Not thinking necessarily of what they will receive on the other side. And so, you know, I love that exercise that the counselor did. I just love the fact that you went to counseling, because it is so important. It's not an indictment against your Christianity or, you know, that you love God, but for your own health. Because you had to live on after him. You had to raise these children.
I had to raise his children when he left.
Yes. So I'm so glad you did that for yourself. How it's 2017, so it's been 5 years now.
It'll be 5 years. I keep up because Junior be 5 this year. So it'll be 5 years in November.
I keep up because my mom passed that year. In September. And so I remember making the decision that I would go to the funeral, because at first I was thinking, I can't do it. But I remember making that decision. Like you have to find a place where you see the bigger picture, that it's not all about me, right? This is bigger. And so 5 years now, you're at a place, would you say you're at a place of peace?
I'm at a place of peace now.
Okay.
I can say that because when in the beginning, when I was talking, it went out, give me a minute, hold on, let me, because God he's healing me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say heal, he's healing me, because grief doesn't have no type of time.
Absolutely.
Like I know people have lost little one 10 years ago, and that date comes.
Oh yeah.
It's a whole.
Yeah. And it is strange that when that day comes, leading up to it, you, even when you don't remember the date, your body feels it. You what I call it muscle memory. You have muscle memory. You'll start to feel either you get in a bad mood or you get confused in your thoughts because you start going back through it physically.
Yep.
You know, you've had that experience?
My bronchitis. I don't know why the week that he passed away, I think it was just so much stress, so much whatever. My bronchitis flared up on me, and I didn't have not a voice.
Okay.
That's it. One number God for me to sing the way I
sing. Now when you sung at that, I was like, okay, this is another strength. This is another strength that she is getting.
My son. I was gonna talk.
Okay.
He's like, Mom, get your sing. I'm like, Pay. We was sitting there doing it. I said, Pay, I'm gonna have to just talk. He's like, I said, do you hear my voice? He was like, Mama, before they came, he's like, Mama, do it for Dad. You know, he will want you. He'd be like, girl, get up there and sing. He's like, and do it for me. I was like, God, okay, it's just me and you. Because I got up there, was like,
that was another kind of strength. And I was like, okay, all right, you go, girl.
Yes.
So how did you find Dani again?
My kids helped me find Dani again.
Okay.
They are so just like their father. It reminds me, and my Quincy is the one that he's not gonna let me be in my, when I say myself, I guess I'm trying not to say it, but I know he's special.
Okay.
He has a gift.
Okay.
And God is already using him.
Really?
He can discern when I'm like, not me. He'll come in there and be like, Mom, what you doing? Come on, let's play a game. I don't want to play a game. Quit, let me know, Mama. Come on, we finna play this game.
Wow.
Like, you need to get up. Like, why you stealing your lunch? Like, let's get up. Put some here. This is my 7-year-old talking to me. And at the time, he was probably only 4 or 5. He was probably 5. Because he was 5. It's telling me this thing. He was reminding me of what I was supposed to do. Mom, get up. We hungry. You supposed to go in the kitchen and cook. Like, it was that. I didn't feel like doing nothing. And that's how I said, if my son sees, let me look in this mirror and look at myself.
Okay.
So my children helped me find me again. So
and isn't it amazing how God uses children that way? And I believe that in him using them, it is developing them for whatever they're going to do in life. Even when we look back in our own lives, we know the turning points. And so I'm sure that was at least one turning point in his life that is now going to be, kind of the catalyst for him to do whatever God has called him to do. And and I'm sure having children gave you something else to focus on.
Yes.
And kind of a good distraction,
in
a way. In a way. What lessons have you learned along the way?
Lessons that I have learned along the way. We say this a lot. It's kind of people. I really learned people.
Okay.
And when I say I learned people, it's about death, grief, everything, any tragic happens in your life. You're going to learn the reality of how people really are.
Okay.
And when I say that is basically people that you really felt that was supposed to be there for you, or that you knew was they are the ones that really have the let down. It's not even about the ones that you talk to every day, not even the ones that you're really, 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 really close to. It's the ones that your expectations.
Okay.
So it's really just me being my heart is so big and I can't hold grudges. Like I'm just like, if I've done anything to you, I gotta come to you. Even if you didn't even feel like I offended you. If I feel this type of way, I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna say, hey, forgive me what I said, or I kind of feel like we kind of off a little bit, what's going on. And it's like when you have done that and nothing has changed, you let go and let God. You let go and let God. And
so you learned about people.
And then just being a strong Black woman.
Okay.
And when I say that, being a mother too, because it's hard raising boys.
Yes.
And then just all that is going on in the world. And it's like you can't block them from everything.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just how to go by teaching and raising your sons.
Yes.
Because like this is new to me. Like it was hard being a first lady because your husband always gone. So it's like you kind of still, but I only had one child, and Peyton was the big to help. He was young too, but just had one child. But now I got a newborn that I gotta like literally sit here and do this all by myself. Quincy can't go in the refrigerator to help me do like nothing. I had to learn how to do all this by myself and reprogramming my whole life.
And it's interesting that you tapped into that, because I know a lot of women are like, wanting to be married, that are, a lot of women that are single wanting to be married because they think that, okay, once I get married, that solves all of my problems. And now I got somebody to help me. And I tell women all the time that I love being married. I've been married 36 years. Okay. So I am pro marriage, right? Yes. However, we don't know where life is going to take us. And so thinking that once I get married, everything is great now, you're a living example that we don't know what's up ahead. So you didn't get divorced to find yourself single again. You lost your husband to death, but you still found yourself single again, having to raise your boys. And we've got to know that God will equip us to do whatever we have to do, whether we're married, single, divorced, widowed, he'll do it. And that's what happened with you. Yes. God just equipped you. So you've learned about people, you've learned about motherhood, but what have you learned about Dani?
I've learned about Dani that I always thought I was God-fearing, and fear always took over me. Always took over my mind. And I've learned that once I if God give me this to do, I can't tell him no, because I'm just like, God, I just want to sing. I don't want to do anything else. Like, this is a gift. Like, why do you want me to do extra stuff? Like, I'm single. I mean, I got these children. I can't do anything else but go on stage, sing, make my money, and go home. That's all I want to do. But I found myself, I always lived in fear after my husband. Before, like, I was traveling. I do everything. Yeah, let's go. But it's after.
So tell me what that fear is. Now I'm putting on my therapist hat. What was that fear like?
The fear of just of the thoughts of what people may think if I don't do what they're comfortable seeing me do.
Oh
If
yeah,
they
because
see-
now the magnifying glass, the microscope, it's all on you.
It's all on me.
Because you know, people have their own preconceived notions about how they think you should live out your life after losing your husband.
And not only losing my husband, he was a pastor.
Yeah.
So
Oh, girl, that had to be a lot of pressure. Because you know, now you know I am pro pastors' wives, because the folk be hard on preachers' wives,
do.
right? I know that. But you know, I get folk up off of me.
that's the thing.
But I can, you know, especially at your age too. Let me throw that in. That at your age, what do you think people were expecting of you?
Oh, I think what people expect of me. I think there were well, first, you know, they say you're young, go ahead out there and find you, and it ain't that simple. Go out there and find you someone to go help you raise these boys. And I was like,
oh,
I know I'm young, but that wasn't my focus. My
Yeah.
focus was I needed to get me first.
yeah,
Because I can't do anything for nobody. I can't do anything for my kids if Danny is not together.
yeah.
So that was and this always been my focus of just making sure that I'm okay.
Yeah.
Because we always forget about us. We'll do everything else for the kids, make sure everything else good,
And forget
but
about
we forget
ourselves.
about ourselves.
Yeah.
So I had to
Now, what I gotta ask you this: were there those who felt like, okay, so you said there were people who said just go out there and get another husband, like you could just go and pick one up off the shelf.
Yeah.
Were there those who didn't want you to date or any of those things?
Yes.
Saying that, you know, because now they want you to be the what I call the keeper of the flame. That you got to keep the memory, hold up the memory.
And that's a lot too. You know, it's a lot of just keeping his memory, keeping his legacy, because who he was, you know. Like you got people, he was meant to Morehouse, and all the pastors that went in Atlanta, you know, it's just I thank God for what the story he has given me, but it can be trying. It's like I'm young, I'm 38 now, but at the time it was just a lot that I didn't want to deal with. I'm like, God, I don't want this. Like it was just like for me to deal with. But yeah, so our people, I still have people. And my sister is one of them, Sister Natalie. She is like, girl, you can raise some kids by yourself. Who you gonna find a place? I'm like, you want me to raise these kids by myself? Like, no. Like, I do want to date again. I do.
Have you started dating
No,
again?
I have not started dating again. It's hard.
Girl, it's been 5 years.
It's been 5 years. I know. I have had friends. But
I'm like,
I know, but I'm just, I always, and I had one person think like, you cannot, I think about me and my kids.
Okay, all right.
I think about me and my kids.
Now I'm gonna be auntie.
Come on, be auntie. I think about me
auntie.
and my kids. It's like the little thing can literally turn me off. And I need to, I don't know.
What little things?
I know.
If you won't date, you don't even know the little things yet.
I know. It can be any little conversation. And if he say anything, I'll be like, okay, yeah, I can't. I know. Pray for me.
I'm gonna be auntie now. It's been 5 years. And here's what I'm saying. I'm saying you have to live on. That's really what I'm after. I'm not after saying, you know, you're the judge of that. But I do know you have to live forward. My girlfriend and I were just visiting together. She came to see me last week, and she lost same year.
Okay.
She's a little bit older than me, but she lost her husband, you know, instantly. It was no sickness that led up to death. And it's been 5 years. But I remember telling her, because I went to be with her when he passed and all that, you know, because we're just like that. But I said, you got to live forward. I said, today you don't feel like dating. You're not going to feel like any of that, you know, year 2, year 3, but you've got to live forward, because there's no way you can go back and get that life again. So what you're responsible for being a steward over is the life you have that God has left. For whatever reason, God has left you here. So you got to live forward.
I'm trying. It's hard. Dating is hard.
I've been hearing that. I got to get y'all together, because everybody's telling me that.
Because I want to. Because I have 4 widow friends.
Okay.
And so about 2 of them already they date. About to get. Well, one of them already got married.
Oh, so what? I mean, you say when you say it's hard, are you saying it because there are no men out here to really be serious with, or what?
I'm not saying that. It's just, I think, because like I said, I need to get out the frame. Like, I'm not thinking just about me. I'm thinking about, because I got to find someone, or they have to find me first, that I know that can help me raise these boys. Because they don't have a father figure. They don't have anything. So it's going to take a man to step up to want to raise my children. And not only that, to come in. Because, I always get this a lot. Who you going to get to come behind Quinn? And, it can't be no past. I mean, I get all of this. And it makes it so hard.
Would you want to marry another pastor?
Oh, I knew that one question was going to come up. I couldn't argue him the first time. I can't argue him the second time.
Okay,
so whoever God has for me, it is for me. But
how do you know? So you said there's always these little things. How do you know? What are those little things that's turning you off? Because somebody may be watching now saying, you know what? I would love to shoot my shot with her, but so help him out. What's the little thing?
So if like it's not just me. And you always talking about just me. You're never asking about how the boys doing. I don't need you to do anything, for it genuine. You want to say, hey, go take you and the boys out to eat. I ain't gotta go. But it's never of how your children doing, or it's always you. How you doing? How's your day? What you doing today? If I even put out like, yeah, me and the boys going, it's never like, hey, did you have fun?
Are y'all coming out like
yes, I'm coming. It's like
maybe okay. Wait a minute. Is it because you're how old are you?
I'm 38.
Are these 38-year-olds? Because maybe they just don't have a frame of reference.
No.
What is the problem out here, man? That they wouldn't be concerned about your children, or are you giving them an impression? Because I talk to some women, they're like, now we don't talk about my children. I keep that totally separate.
Yeah.
Maybe they're feeling like they can't ask you about the children because that's kind of
no, because I have asked the question, hey, can I meet no, you wouldn't meet. So I won't let them meet. That's good. I always been like that. Even if I had a child, if I had a child, like whatever, I would say if I'm not with the baby daddy,
I agree.
My kids, I would not have in and out. You know what I'm saying? So I always have that place where I was like, hey, kids are limited, but like I said, I don't mind. Ask about them. Like,
show you. It's
I have had people to take us to the game before. So there's generous, just being nice, so it's not even, like I said, I just need to know that, because I come as a package. And I know it's going to take, like I said, a real man to love me and my kids. And I know, but if they love me, I know they're going to love my kids. But gotta be it's this one thing. Don't always ask about my, but you can ask them. Y'all can ask about my kids.
Okay.
Just don't ask to see them right now.
All right, we're gonna take a commercial break, but she's looking for a real man because she is a package deal. We're gonna take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's Kiosha with the Tailored Experience. I want to be your personal stylist. I do hair, makeup, and wardrobe styling. I also help you on your photo shoots with creative direction. Connect with me on all social media platforms at Brown Sugar Doll. I am just a DM away from tailoring you from the inside out.
Welcome back with Conversations with Linda. Listen, I'm laughing because Dani she is being transparent. And I told her, I said, hold on, we got to have some of this for the camera. So sometimes you meet guys and they're like, oh, you're Quentin's.
I'm Quentin's widow. And
like you still his woman.
I'm still, it was like, oh, okay, you Quentin's widow. And just be like, how was that? Why are you asking me about somebody that's not here no more? Like, you either trying to get to know me or you trying to be nosy and get in the situation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's yeah. So yeah.
Okay, well, is this just Memphis men or is this
no?
This is
you go? I'll say this is just Memphis men.
Okay.
Because I'd have been in other places. I have met other guys that's not from Memphis, and it's totally different. I love my Memphis men. Let me listen. I love Memphis y'all.
Memphis
I ain't saying that, but hey, listen.
Memphis men, I gotta talk to y'all. See what y'all doing now, because I'm just being. It's I keep hearing this. I gotta have. Listen, I gotta have Trey back on my show.
Okay,
Frank Ray III, because he'll go toe to toe with me. I love him. But Frank Ray, you hearing it? I'm talking about Trey, not you, Pastor Ray. Frank Ray.
He gonna be on me now. Oh yeah.
Okay, so tell me this: how did you get to the point where you said, "Okay, I'm ready to date again"?
I was just telling her earlier that Quincy told you he is my pusher.
Okay,
And his mama.
really?
Oh my God!
All right, y'all know Linda Chisholm.
Linda Chisholm be she could be at Comcast. Oh, daughter, Mama, I don't need you to hook me up with that. I'm fine. Like we have the great.
But that is so good.
Oh, I tell you, she loved me like she loved Quinn. Like that is my heart.
Oh wow, that is so.
Oh
sweet.
my gosh, she always trying to hook me up. Like Mama, Quinn, not like Mama. Would you think Quinn want me to?
Well, but as a woman, with like Ruth and Naomi. She has that love that she knows your life has to go forward.
Yeah, she does. She like, and when you do that, he got to come over here. I like, Mama, I already know we have that. But Quincy always he say to me, and he don't understand, but he say, Mom, I know you still married to Daddy, but he's not here no more. When you gonna find? He like, when you gonna find us someone that we can play with? And
oh wow,
I'm like, Quincy,
that's so sweet.
Yes, he's like, Mom, you need a man. They tell me I need a man. I'm get on that nerve. Where we going today? Mom, you ain't going nowhere. He's like, you ain't going after that. I'm like, Quincy, I'm getting on your like. So yeah, my kids is like, I think they're more ready than I am.
Oh wow. Because I can imagine. As I said, I got a girlfriend that she went through this, but getting to that point where you said, okay, I'm ready to get back out here. I'm ready to, and not when I say get back out here, I mean just to socialize,
yes.
And be amongst people and feel comfortable talking to the opposite sex.
So I can say it was actually last year.
Okay.
When I was ready. And like when you said that, just talking to someone, I didn't feel guilty.
Oh yeah.
And it's crazy thing. Like I didn't feel guilty at all.
Because that is significant. Because even though he's gone, you still feel married.
Yeah, I still feel married to him.
Wow.
So yeah, I didn't feel that guilt anymore. So once I didn't feel the guilt anymore, I think I was like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to get out here and date again. So
wow, that is so good. I'm glad that you're finding that place again because it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, of all the other reasons couples are no longer together, death is the one that the Lord gives us to say you're free and you can move forward with your life.
Yeah.
And
another thing, I get tired of always my sister and them going out on days. Like, you been? I ain't got no friend. Y'all go ahead. I'm because I don't like to be the third wheel.
Oh.
So that was another thing. I'm just like, you bring a friend. I'm like, if I bring a friend around my family, they gonna feel like he in, and I don't want y'all to be in talking about nothing else that y'all don't supposed to talk about. So it's just like, I just rather just, wait until I say, okay, you ready to meet my family? Because other than that, no. But yeah, that was another thing, like, because it was the point where I couldn't even look at like anything that had anything to do with couples.
Oh, wow.
Nothing. Like it will make me so angry to where I was like, oh, I'm so tired of looking at people being happy. Like I was just really in that point where I was like, you know what? I want to have this.
I'm glad but I'm glad you can acknowledge that, because I think that people try to mask that and they try to make it as if, I don't need a man, I don't need a woman or whatever. And really what they're masking is that they have a desire to be with someone and they just don't want to feel that vulnerability, that what they feel is weakness, but it's just being vulnerable.
It's just being vulnerable and it's just being real. Like it's a feeling. That's how you feel. So it's like, I don't remember what day it was. It was something, was it Memorial Day? Oh, I was watching every episode that I could find out. I was like, wow, I'm ready to be married again. I'm ready to be today. I was looking at, it was just,
I love it.
Just right. I was looking at just right.
Oh, honey, you were looking at all the stuff that'll take you in. Yeah, for real.
Yes, I was like, I'm ready.
But that is so good. I mean, this is really the hallmark of healing. As you said, not that you are healed, but you're healing day by day, which we all are of something.
Right.
But your healing is that you can own it. You can laugh about it, you can cry about it, be angry about it. You can feel the range of emotions, but yet have your center, yet know who you are. I love it. I love it. What is one piece of advice that you would give a widow?
My first advice to widow is don't allow people to tell you when you should be over it.
Okay.
Time. I don't, like I said, it would never, I don't think I would ever get over it. You know what I'm saying? It's just have time for yourself. If you need to, just take some self-care day, take a self-care day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I regret that I didn't do in the beginning.
Okay.
Because a lot of things I think I could have done in the beginning probably wouldn't prolong of the angerness and the bitterness I felt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, and don't, like I said, don't allow people to dictate you when you need to get over it.
Gotcha.
Because like, how can you tell me? And especially someone that hasn't been in your shoes before.
Sure.
Because we all, like, I don't know how it feels to lose a mother.
Yeah.
I don't know how it feels to lose a sister.
Right.
But I most definitely know how it feels to lose a husband.
Absolutely.
I don't care if it's, even though he was, like, it was unexpected.
Yeah.
Unexpected. You was there with him through sickness, whatever like that. It's the same. He's not here anymore. But I'd say, don't let people dictate when you need to. When you need to get over it. It's been 10 years. You don't know how people deals with different things differently. So I think I'll say just take your time and just try to love on yourself, because it's kind of hard when you don't even feel, you so empty. And how can you love on yourself when you don't even feel your heart? Yeah. You don't even. I was to the point I didn't want my kids to touch me. You know, I'm that mother. Yeah. You know, so just take it's time. Time will heal. Time just take time.
And I want to add to that because, you know, with just working with people in therapy who are grieving, that you don't need to let people dictate to you when it's time to heal, because nobody knows that. I do, though, like the fact that you went to counseling, because what a good therapist does is help you, right, get through the journey so that now you're not doing yourself more harm. A therapist helps you to move, because like you said, I mean, forever in your heart, there is that little place. Yeah. We even, as I told you, have muscle memory. But what a therapist does is help you move through the journey. And what you do is, over time, you learn how to manage those feelings. And you learn how to live on even with those feelings, you know, because what we want to do is we want to wait till we don't feel anything anymore. And that's just not how it's going to happen.
Because we got to accept it. Once we accept it, that this is what it is, then I think that will better help us too as well. Because sometimes we won't accept, we're thinking like, I just can't believe this. This something gonna have to change. But death is not something you can change. We just got to accept it.
So you started a new event called Safe Place. Tell me, what is Safe Place?
So Safe Place is a women organization that we just get to learn differently about life obstacles, like and we can feel free about talking about it, no judgmental anything, thing like that. I have all the ladies, we sign confidentialities agreement, because what's in Safe Place, we're gonna let it stay in. So we just basically talking about, we get together, we laugh, we eat, you know, we have little cocktails, and then I have this discussion time where we do, and I have every woman that comes in, they write it down on their car. I have this box that we put in, we pulled from it. So whatever topic when someone asks, we talk about it. And I always say, hey, this is, we're not we not have degrees about it. This is just somebody that you can just, maybe like we talking about grief, like something I can help with someone about grief, or they've been in, like I've been in their shoes before. Someone was just talking about their, it was just so much I want to say, but it was good because each woman can give their advice of how they got through it and help them with it. So, and it just felt so good of you just being vulnerable with people, strangers that you don't even know. So this one, and then like I was telling her earlier that one of my friends are starting to get really close to one of the girls that she didn't even meet, because she don't have a friend. She doesn't have friends. And that's another thing. I want women to come that feel like that they might have a sister. They might be the only girl and don't have friends they can talk to, or best friends they can talk to. That is so important. Because we sometimes we feel like I don't need no friend. I'm my friend by myself.
I do not advocate that. I think you need some friends. You do. And they don't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. But you need to have friends. Y'all may fall out and y'all get back
Yeah,
together.
and that's what friends do. That's what friends do.
But I think this is so important because you found a way to minister to others, or at least create an atmosphere where other people can be ministered to. What has been the most rewarding aspect of that?
After when I did my first event, I did back in May. I had like this lady came from she came from Little Rock. They was coming from Little Rock. I had someone fly in from Florida.
Oh wow!
Like, so it wasn't just Memphis based, but it was just seeing people that don't even know me. They just saw it online or just heard about me, what I was doing, flying in, wanted this type of atmosphere. But all the DMs and the emails I get was, thank you so much. I needed this outlet. I needed to just feel pretty again. I wanted to dress up in this color. All I do is I probably do like one solid color. I've never put colors together. It's like, so it wasn't just about.
Because you are a fashionista. Let me say that. You are a fashionista. Girl, you had on one blazer. I was like, I went home and I Googled it. You don't even know it, but I took a picture of you.
That's fine. You can do it.
And then I Googled it because I needed that color in my wardrobe. And I haven't worn it yet. Okay, I gotta wear that.
So that was a big smile that I feel like women they can feel like they can really be themselves. Because one lady was saying she just got into it with her best friend. But when she came, she was like, that ain't nothing. I need to call her back.
Yeah.
Let's get. And so she ended up letting me know, hey, we're back cool again. So it's like, it's just, that what puts a smile on my face, because God give us life and we should live it happily. We're going to have trials and tribulations. We're going to argue. We're going to fight. But at the end of the day, we need to just have a big smile on our face.
I love it. You need to have a big smile on your face. You have music. Any new music coming?
No, lady, no reason right now. I am focusing on Safe Place.
Okay.
And I'm focusing on my new brand I got, Yet Still Here. Okay. That I'm doing. And then
those are Yet Still Here. Wait a minute.
Okay.
What's that about?
That's my clothing line. Okay. So I got some couple of items here. So it's t-shirts, hoodies, and I'm doing the jumpers now. I'm looking at different other things. I want to sell. I was trying not to say, God always set you up. I was not trying to get into the clothing thing, but girl, let me tell you, you got that. I'm not pulling your leg. I'm not joking with you. You really do have that. Thank you. So I think that people buy into the person, not necessarily the product all the time. The product comes, but they really buy in the person. You can sell some clothes because you wear your clothes well. And I haven't even without my website, I have sold over 300 t-shirts, like just without even just advertising, just getting people, hey, I got this. So they saw somebody else with it on. And so I love it. How are your sons doing? Sons are doing great. Okay. If anybody wants to ever babysit, I am taking applications right now. But no, I have a great, God is really, he just set me up good. He set me, even though it was a pain, but he set me up good. Oh wow! When I tell you, my support system is amazing. If I have to go out to go sing somewhere, I can say, hey sis, can you watch the? And it's no, mom, get them. Like I just have a great support system. They're going to Chicago in July, which I'm so happy. My sister's getting my voice. You gonna have some free time. I'm gonna have some free time. Yeah, so I got it with me with a great support system. Well, what a good note to end on. Y'all, you heard it right here with Conversations with Linda. She's doing good. Just in case those of you in the Memphis area have been wondering, I wonder how's Danny doing. She's doing good. She's doing well. And I am just so thankful to have had this opportunity to share with Dani McGhee-Barlow and just to see the wonders of God working in her life. Y'all know I'm out of time, but I'm never out of conversation. Tune in each Sunday evening here at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I look forward to sharing with you and our phenomenal guests. God bless you. Have a